Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Komal Irshad and I'm going to present about the relationship of Urdu and English in the present time. So first, I'll discuss about the introduction to Urdu language. Since Pakistan's founding and even earlier, Urdu and English have been two of the most significant languages in the area. A close reading of history reveals that both Hindus and Muslims worked tirelessly for more than a century to end British control. They joined together to start the freedom movement and the liberation struggle, but eventually their paths parted. The linguistic issue was one of the many causes of Hindu-Muslim conflict and separation, and it was quite significant. Following India's independence, Hindus wanted Hindi to be the country's official tongue, while Muslims preferred Urdu and English replacement. One of the main reasons that led Muslims to separate from Hindus and consider creating their own independent countries was the Urdu-Hindi debate. British authorities were forced to submit in front of the Indian people in 1947, and the Indian subcontinent was partitioned into Pakistan and India as an independent state. Both of these languages are still in competition with one another for supremacy in the nation even after 70 years of independence. So the next point is that how Urdu and English are used in Pakistan. In order to maintain its dominance in Pakistan's administration, law, and education, there has always been a gulf between Urdu and English. The most recent plan to replace Urdu with English as official language was launched in 2015. There have been many steps taken to replace English partially. This made it necessary for the current research to reconsider how Urdu and English fit into this stage of the shift. The protocol for conducting interviews was used to gather the data for this current study. The data collection involved a purposeful sample of 60 persons who participated in the study. The interviewing process including questions about topics including the language's relevance, academic values, and future. And the next point is that two of the most significant languages. With 73 languages spoken there, Pakistan is the multilingual and multi-ethnic nation. The language environment has grown to be exceedingly complex, necessitating careful design to foster a sense of satisfaction and unity among all linguistic groups. The Urdu language holds a central position among other languages in this linguistically diverse environment. And this is reflected in the country's many languages policies. Some critics also claim that Pakistan's language policies have served to favor Urdu over other languages by treating it as a unifying national symbol. But in the past, more than 1 million individuals who immigrated to the Sindh province in the southeast of Pakistan from northern Indian state, including Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, and Bihar, spoke Urdu as their mother tongue. Despite being a minority, they inhabited the majority of the country's bureaucratic positions since they lived in urban districts and had higher education. A common language of communication for those from various linguistic backgrounds, Urdu is the mother tongue of about 8% of the country's population. In addition to serving as the primary language of the nation, it is also employed as a teaching tool in educational institutions. In order to satisfy national language aspirations, the National Language Authority was founded in 1978 with the intentions of promoting the Urdu language. As Pakistan's official language, Urdu serves as a symbol of our country's citizens' sense of national identity. All of the provinces and smaller units are united with the federation, and all of the communities in the nation are linked to one another so that they may speak with and understand one another. Despite the fact that, as was previously noted, Urdu was designated as Pakistan's national tongue in 1948. Status of Urdu as the country's official language was only recognized in 1973. According to Pakistan's 1973 constitution, English may be used for official purposes until plans are made to replace it, and Urdu is the country's official language. Plans must be made to use Urdu for official and other purposes within 15 years of the Constitution's beginning state. Even before Pakistan was founded, English and Urdu were two of the most widely spoken languages in the region. Both Urdu and English are promoted in a variety of aspects of life and are the languages of the domains of power. The first disagreement dates back to Sir Syed's demand for Urdu as a language of teaching and Lord Macaulay's proposal for an English medium school. Urdu promotion efforts after Pakistan's founding were effective and continued to be so. Although English will always be the language of power. In Pakistan, the 1973 constitution stated that Urdu would replace English as the official language within 15 years, but sadly this vision was unable to come true. As previously mentioned, the trend of English medium education not only persisted but also gained popularity. The problem with the scenario is that despite repeated government efforts, English continues to be unique and indispensable. The globalization and internationalization of English may have had some influence on the current state of affairs. But the authorities' lack of commitment and unwillingness will also bear some blame. In order to make Urdu an official language, the Pakistani government launched a program in 2015, and as a part of this initiative, the country's constitution and other important laws are being translated. Partially speaking, the way is being prepared for Urdu to replace English as the official language. Reevaluating the standing of these two languages in the eyes of the general public is required. During this moment of transition that was promised in the Constitution of 1970. Now I am going to conclude my presentation. The study's conclusion is that Urdu and English continues to compete fiercely for the right to be the dominant language in the nation. While English is the mean of communicating with the rest of the world, the people are aware of the importance of Urdu in the context of national connectivity. Since English is the language of seminars and conferences, both domestically and globally, it was a higher academic significance than Urdu. While the participants expressed doubt that the English language is gradually replacing the Urdu language, the future of the English language is equally bright. Therefore, English continues to have a higher status during this stage of change. More serious and earnest efforts are needed to raise public awareness of Urdu's significance and to lay the groundwork for its eventual replacement of English, if that is even conceivable.